Talk me through what you've noticed about us using video.
And interestingly, when I realized the result of the video, I am totally different.
Hey, everybody. I'm here today again for another episode of the series we've been doing, this 12 episode series on marketing for service businesses, but really for law firms. Today, I'm here with Quinn Ngo, or Annie, as we call her, when we can't say Vietnamese names like I can't sometimes. And what we want to talk to you about today is sort of an additional add-on to an episode that we did, but this one's going to get a little more specific. So if you want to figure out how to get your firm out there and really leverage social media, especially whatever type of social media you need to be using, this is the episode you want to pay attention to. And Quinan is she's well loved in person, and then essentially our goal is to scale her, and then the rest of the partners at EP Legal. So Quinan, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks, Mars. Thanks for being here with me.
And this is called the Roadmap to Social Content Success. First of all, to look back at episode 5, right? Like we did 2 episodes. And what we talked about in that episode was obviously the importance of virtual networking. We talked about the 5-step strategy for our LinkedIn marketing and weekly performance analytics. And then, the other social platforms that we find work best for legal-based marketing. And then the question would probably be, well, why do you guys need to do another episode specifically about social content? Well, because you can have all the strategies that you want in the world, but if you're not putting out relevant content that people are interested in, and we're going to share with you what we find is what people are interested in, it doesn't matter what your social media plan is. You have to put the stuff up that people actually want, right? So Quinan, one of the things I want to get into with you on this is, you have a big background in the oil and gas industry. I mean, you're in one of the most powerful positions for somebody in your role, and everybody still loves you from before you had EP Legal as a part of EP Legal, and so you came to the table of the firm with a lot of relationships, a lot of connections in real life, and then a lot of connections on LinkedIn, especially. So what are your thoughts on the differences between, dealing with people in real life and then how you kind of have to put stuff out on social media?
Actually, what we are doing in EP Legal is not just me as a managing partners, but we have other partners. We do both like face-to-face meeting with the clients or do some social network. But on the other hand, we also need to do some social content virtually, such as we need to use LinkedIn because LinkedIn is a really good channel for us. As all the businessmen or women, we all connected around the world on the same interesting topic or on the same experience field that we have. So LinkedIn is really good because I'm specialized in energies and powers, not only just oil and gas, but now it's renewable energies and green energies. And Vietnam is now developing in this field, and the whole world is now running with a net zero. So there's a lot of new contents coming up, and also the government is focusing on getting the green energies, and it's a blooming areas in Vietnam right now. And in addition to LinkedIn, we do have Facebook, we do have like our company owns website. So we also need to taking care of that because when clients go to us, they may look at our websites and they will look at the information that we have and what we are specialized in. And the good things is after we post a lot of like news on that, and we make some analysis on the newspaper, then we got some connections back to us, and that's the deal is coming, so that's why we can expand our network and our deal, and we
Right.
hope that we can do a lot of things in the future.
Specifically, like, why another episode about social content? Because I think a lot of people, they just kind of think EP Legal is a very, moving firm. And so there's meetings. We don't just throw this up and something random happens. We're sitting there every week. We're looking at the numbers from last week, and then we're setting new goals and objectives for the next week, basically. And it's that fast. It's not something you plan it out 6 months ahead. So we set our goals, okay? And then we really focus on 3 content types. And we don't want to focus on more than that, because that's another thing that I've seen as a marketing director and CMO, right? And then we look at engagement strategies, like basically what is actually working, all right? Then we schedule things on the calendar, obviously based on when we think people are on and watching and so forth. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. And then lastly, we do a monthly analysis every month. So we do it every week, and then we do a full month analysis of the data. So the first big question specifically about content is why content scheduling it, okay? Why does it matter? You have to think about it like this. And we all have Facebook and Instagram and stuff. Gunan, when you post on Facebook and other social media channels, have you ever noticed how if you post something on a Friday, maybe it gets a lot more likes? It could be the same basic thing that you posted, last week or 2 weeks ago, and you posted it on a Tuesday or whatever the days of the week are for your audience, and you barely get any likes, and you're like, wow, nobody cares. But it's because maybe they're busy. Maybe they're not in front of their Facebook, and they're not really looking at it because they can't, because they're busy, right? But sometimes if you post something on certain days of the week, like I noticed Friday for my wife's posts or personal posts, she gets like double the amount of likes and then double the amount of comments and everything.
Actually, there are several occasions that you may want to post. For example, like if it's just the news or something that you feel interesting, you post in the weekend, like you just mentioned, then it's really get attention of a lot of people because they may have more free time at the weekend. And they go through the Facebook to look for something like news or with their friends or with some people that they are like connected with. So it depends on the case, but like for me, it's whenever I think it's necessary, then I will post.
Right. Then what you have to realize is there's the stuff, what I call naturally forming, when maybe it doesn't get a lot of as many views or exposures, is because the algorithms like you more when you do that. Like if they see you posting a lot, they want people on the site. They want people to look at it, but they also want people posting because otherwise there wouldn't be any posts. So they sort of have to reward you with a certain amount of exposures and likes and things like that. And they want people posting regularly. So you get more exposures when you're very regular with your content, because YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, their goal is to keep people on their site as much as possible. That's their job. But real quick, yeah, there's obviously 4 or 5 reasons why it matters. Enhancing your online presence, obvious, right? Expanding your professional network, of course. Providing, valuable content for just anybody who's sort of in your sphere. They begin to see you as an authority, right? And then encouraging engagement and interaction, of course. And then basically positioning your firm in whatever space that you're in. Like EP Legal is known as one of the top arbitration firms in Vietnam, right? Even though it's a boutique firm, right? We have sister firms around. We're not one of the giant firms, and yet if you talk to anybody, they say, "What does EP Legal do?" They're going to say, they're for sure going to say we're in energy, because that's how the firm started. But the other thing that they're going to say is, yeah, those guys are the arbitration people, and that's because we talk about that and we put that up and we keep that as part of the brand. So with that, let's talk about how we categorize our content. So let's talk about written content. Let's talk about video content. In our case, we do a lot of AI video. And then let's talk about what we call cornerstone content, right? Because you can post a bunch of short things, but probably every week or at least once a month, you want to post something very epic, so that if somebody gets caught watching it, they're like, wow, these people know what the heck they're doing. So the first one is written content. Obviously, you're going to get a certain type of audience when you do written content. So if you write, like if there's an article that you like and then you sort of summarize it and you post, that's one form. And so Quinan, I'm just going to ask you about each of the written content.
Yeah, with me, written content is like quite important, and I got a lot of reactions from that. The technique to write up the written content is also important. Like when we write something, we don't really write too much, because if you write too long or lengthy documents, then people will feel tired to do that. So when we like get some information that we think that is really good for us, then we analyze the documents and we try to brief as much as we can, and we highlight some key issues or key points in such kind of documents or in the content that we want to write, so that like whenever people read the contents that from us, they will get the ideas or they will get the points that what we want to deliver to. And if that
Yeah.
point is relevant and is like necessary or like importance at a certain point, it's really like, impress other people, which by that we can get more some people to get to know us and react to the contents that we write. So we try to be brief but also like insightful, which is
Mhm.
really important for the contents that we write up.
One thing about the partners at EP Legal, and this is one of the reasons why I enjoy working there. And I'm nothing against anybody else. This is my experience with the partners at EP Legal. They're all really good writers. When they write something up, it's generally very clear. and you can understand what it is. So there is sort of an art to doing it, because the algorithms, the way that they judge whether or not written content is good is if somebody says pause on when they're scrolling, and then they click read more, and then how long they keep it open. Because the goal of all the sites for written or video, their goal is to keep you on their site longer than you're on the other sites. So you don't want things to be too short. So there's a balance of like long enough that you suck somebody in, and then they continue to read, versus making it so long that they're like, oh, this is too long, I don't have time to read all this, and they stop reading. But if it's too long, that has the opposite effect, because what it means is somebody looks at it and then they click away very quickly because they look at it and they go, well, this is too long, I don't have time to read this. So that's something you kind of want to look at with written content. So then let's talk about basically video content, but I'm calling it AI content because we want to really show you how well you can kind of do in various markets. But Quinan, talk me through we've done some videos of you that are AI, some videos that are not AI, and then I'm sure you put out some videos on your own at various times on your different sites. But talk me through what you've noticed about us using video in terms of the exposure it gets, the response it gets, and so forth.
Oh, the video AI is very interesting to me. Actually, at the beginning, when Mas and the team saying that like they want to record me as a video, of course, because English is not my like first language, so we do have the concern. And interestingly, when I realized the result of the video, I am totally different. And all the wordings and my face and all the impressions is really vivid, and people feel really interesting when watching the video. Then I got a lot of my friends asking me, how can you do it? And is that real you? And then because why do you say so like smoothly like that? And how can you learn English in that good way? And they really impressed with not only the contents but also the ways like our marketing team say structures the video.
If you're involved in the energy sector, you won't want to miss this roundup of critical events shaping Vietnam's energy landscape in 2023. First, the approval of the National Energy Master Plan and Power Plan 8. Vietnam's Prime Minister has started outlining the energy roadmap till 2050.
So there's like a lot of thinking that you have to do, right? But you can hear here, Tony he sounds like the best version of his English. It still sounds like Tony. It actually sounds like the best version, like the Tony on a perfect day, right? Where you get everything right. And I think you can't tell it's difficult to tell that it is actually not a real person. And I have a lot of fun doing this because it means I don't have to bother the partners, we just put the content out for them, and there's content going out. All right, so for Cornerstone content, this 12-week series that we're doing is really, like I said, it's our Cornerstone content. Every one of these videos is approximately 20 minutes long. If somebody sits to watch this video, they're probably going to watch it all the way through. I mean, like a lot of people will watch it all the way through, which means we have your attention for 20 minutes. You're thinking about EP Legal. If you're in the industry, if you're an attorney or a worker a team member at a law firm, by the end of it, hopefully you like us, because we're just telling you stuff that's probably pretty helpful, So the Cornerstone content, that's what it's about. So Quinan, we've shot a few of these videos together, and I've shot some with your other two partners as well. What has been your thought on creating this Cornerstone content to deliver a lot of value to the people that are watching, with the experience and how you feel like it's doing?
Yeah, it's really marketing strategy. And we need to thanks for Mas and the team who make this year is becoming the marketing years for EP Legal as well. Because we all know that the market is going down and a lot of like stressful in terms of economics and politicals around. So all the law firms, we got struggle with how to get good clients and how to generate the revenues. So this year, besides like getting the job, we target in improving our marketing skill and marketing strategy. So the cornerstone for us is after like the whole year we think and we try to condense all the key elements in terms of marketing. Then we make the cornerstone and we make different videos or the YouTube so that all the people can see how we did the progress. And in each cornerstone, we analyze some key points, how you get like turnarounds on your revenues and how you market your brand name so that you can get more people pay attention to you.
Some of these things that they're the partners suggest or that they're open to doing, I think shows the sort of difference in EP Legal's way of doing things and way of thinking. And it's the way that they approach with clients too, to be very generous with their time, to be very open, to be very transparent. It's just part of the company's, the firm's value. So I think the Cornerstone content is a really good example of that. So obviously you're watching one of the Cornerstone content elements right now, but we had a bunch of episodes, the episode on the downturn market, branding overhaul. The bucket list is a really important one, like how to network at events is what that one's about. So really, your Cornerstone content is just exactly that. It is the cornerstone of your content, meaning it's the thing that props up all the rest. So that's sort of the goal of Cornerstone content, which leads me to the content calendar. And you can see right here, those are the three major partners in the firm. We absolutely want to be putting out content for them in a way that's not competing with each other. Right. So essentially, we have the orange is the written content, the blue is the Cornerstone content, the orange is the written content, and the AI content is red. Right. But it really means video content because it's not all generated by AI. But we don't want those things competing with each other. Right. So we try to alternate AI content, written content, AI content, written content, Cornerstone content. Right. So that's pretty much our entire strategy for putting out content. And it's an oversimplification. Since we're a law firm, we don't tend to put out content on the weekends, but a lot of times the Friday content will end up getting a lot of views because people are at the end of their week and they're sort of winding down, and that's when they're clicking around on things and they don't have time on Mondays to do it. One thing to be very clear about is your content calendar does not need to be arranged like ours. Obviously, you might have more or less partners that you want to focus on. I mean, we have other people that we could include and different juniors and things, but these are the three like prominent partners in the firm that we want to build the brand and get the reputation out there. Your calendar doesn't need to look like this. So let's talk about engagement strategies. So what does engagement mean? Engagement means getting people to actually interact with your comment or with your content, which means liking it, subscribing, commenting, things like that, right? How do we approach getting engagement? So first thing is posting content on multiple platforms. A lot of people are worried if they put something up and it only gets 10 or 20 likes or something, that's a bad thing. It's not. It's fine. But because you want to post to multiple platforms and you get a lot of exposures, even if you're not getting liked. Because if 300-400 people see it and 30 people like it, you did a good job. That means basically 10% of the people who saw it actually clicked it. Like we're going to be expanding to TikTok and doing much more on Facebook in the coming months. Right now, we pretty much focus on doing things on LinkedIn and YouTube for the most part. But let's look at the way our old titles were and then how we fix it. Okay, so captivating captions and titles, like right here. Okay, the episode 2 branding overhaul, or episode 3 website walkthrough. Boring, not a good title, right? So let's look at the after of our headlines and our titles, right? How we doubled our client base with 3 bucket lists with the 3 bucket list strategy, or tips to virtual network and build a social circle that nobody will tell you, or how to build a memorable brand so you never get forgotten. Those are good titles, and the previous ones are not good titles. And a lot of times what people do is they actually have good content. They put up a video that's about something somebody wants to hear about or know about, but they don't think to actually make the title something that somebody's actually going to go, huh, that looks interesting, and then click on it.
We like the after captions more than the previous one because it gets attentions of a lot of people, and we see the result later when we have the analysis. We see a lot of people feel curious at the beginning, and when they click into the video or the documents, they will see some interesting inside. Then they want to follow and they want to see, okay, what is the next one? And that's why we do 12 episodes like that. And we try to get the curiosities from people.
One other strategy that we're doing, and we're discussing how we're going to do it right now, but a lot of times somebody will, and this is like a secret sauce thing that I just know works, and then most people won't tell you to actually do. They'll tell you put stuff out on YouTube, put stuff on LinkedIn, put stuff on Facebook. But then the people who see it sometimes are sort of random. Like at the beginning, I promised you learned certain things in this video, and now I'm showing you those things. So it's probably you trust Quinn and I a little bit more because we did what we say we're going to do, right? No just comes from being consistent with it. Like in other words, you're consistent. They see you all the time. It's like a friend or a coworker who you see all the time. Maybe I sent this to you or my team sent it to you just as a gift with no strings attached. Just, hey, here's what we're doing to make our marketing go better. So that's sort of my strategy with this idea of giving this away as a gift. So We give away the 12-week series as a gift, even to some people who might be like, who do these people think they are? Why are they sending me this? What's going on in their head? It doesn't matter to me. Because at the end of it, if you're somebody that I'm going to be able to build a relationship with, like a professional relationship, you probably are going to appreciate the fact that we so openly share exactly what we're doing. Not saying everything's correct what we're doing, but I am saying it is at least our best attempt to tell you what we're legitimately doing. Metrics report is the last part of this, and this is kind of looking at how we set up our reports, because the team does these reports every single week, and then we do a monthly one, like I said earlier. If we talk about how we look at the metrics and sort of what our numbers, actually are, right? So on this one, you can see that the views on this video, this video that we posted a couple weeks ago, has 158 views. Well, you might say, 158 views? That isn't that many. I see millions. For a law firm video, that's a lot, okay? A lot is like, maybe 10,000 or something like that. And occasionally you'll get one for a law firm that maybe has 50,000 or even 100,000. But you're never going to get more than that because it's not like sexy content. That's not the point of it. You're not trying to be Mr. Beast. So here, we posted this a little over a month and a half ago. 158 views, 13 likes, 2 comments, and the total view time was an hour, and the average view duration was 54 seconds. Now, what that means is at about the 30-second mark, we had 80% retention. That means people were watching that thing. Pretty much, most people watch it all the way through. Is basically what that means. That means all those people who watched, 158 people, many of whom would not have known Tony Nguyen before, this partner that's in this video, now know him, right? So the know you, like you, trust you, and respect you. The know and the like are probably sort of developed just from one video, right? Because they sat there and watched him for a full minute, right? The trust and respect comes from what he's saying in the video, and the trust really comes from being very consistent. Hopefully, with everything that we said, I'm going to let Quinnan have all the last thoughts here, but final thoughts. But I do want to tell you to, first of all, thank you, and to make sure that you depending upon what channel you're seeing this on, if it's LinkedIn or YouTube, you follow or you subscribe, because we put out content like this very, very regularly, okay, so that we're providing value, like I said. So make sure, first of all, thank you. Second of all, like, follow, subscribe, comment, all the things I'm supposed to say here. And then Quinnan, I'm going to let you, sign us off and just say whatever you want to say as final words.
Thanks, Mas, and thank you everybody for watching the video that we created. And we hope that the contents of the video can share with you and give you a lot of values and insightful information that you may think for your firm to improve your awareness, also the marketing strategies to your firm, and develop more and get more clients and benefits to you. So we would really like and happy to share with you further in the future if you want to connect with us. Thank you.